again, with a lot of people's great innovation and participation. So I think in some ways, there have been many filmmakers, friends of Jim's, and others who have been going through there for particularly the past year, when the film was in various stages of being captured. When I say captured, it's really what it is. What happens is you capture the performance, and then you add the world, you build the world, and then it typically, in the case of Avatar, it will go to an effects processing place like Weta, and I think using the word processing in the context of Weta is really unfair, which is an amazing, it's Peter Jackson's facility in New Zealand, which I want to come back to because New Zealand doesn't have many more people than Greece, so if we can do it there, maybe we can do something here, but that's we'll come back to that. Peter Jackson's Weta facility, digital effects facility in New Zealand, is considered, along with Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, George Lucas's place, and some others, but those two, particularly Weta, are considered the preeminent digital effects houses in the world right now. And they basically took this raw material, this capture, these images, these performances, these worlds that Jim created, and added photorealism to them, so that as the film evolved and as those effects evolved, they became truly real. And the experience of the audience is one that you are looking at these real beings. I'm sure everyone has seen digital beings, digital characters in the past. One of the things that is most difficult is to capture face and to capture the expressions of the human face. It is the most difficult image to replicate artificially or digitally. And the reason for that is that we've spent our entire lives, since we were born, really, looking up at our parents' faces, to our mother's face, and reading and understanding the nuance of how the face acts as it speaks, and its expressions, and the way the eyes move, and the way muscles of the face move. So when you try and do that artificially, no matter how sophisticated the technology has been, it has always had an air of artificial to it. And the reason is that our brain is saying, wait a second, that doesn't feel right. Something's not right there. Well, that's another aspect that Jim spent an enormous amount of time perfecting in Avatar, and there's still certainly improvement to come in the future. But he basically felt that it was impossible to do it in the way that it had been done in the past, and so he and his collaborators created a facial capture rig, is basically what it is, and it's basically a camera that hangs off in front of the face. So he captured the body movements and the facial movements separately and then composited them, so that when you see the film, pay particular attention to the way these alien faces act and the way they look, and I think you'll see it's better than anything that's ever been done. It's truly state of the art. Look, I think there is no substitute for great story and great characters and great dialogue. There never will be. And all of these effects always have to be in the service of a story rather than the story itself. And I don't want to disparage other films, but I think we all have experienced films where what you walk away with is the sense that, wow, they blew a lot of stuff up really, really well, and it looked really, really cool, but what a lame movie. And I think always filmmakers have to realize that all of this technology, all of these effects, all of these artificially created worlds, which can transport an audience, can only do it really well when the essence of the story and the characters and the people that you're relating to inside the film are compelling. And otherwise, it's just a bunch of zeros and ones and doesn't really amount to very much at all.